We're live here from Green High School's gymnasium as we see the Green Bulldogs, led by new coach Mitch Spottelson, take on the Brunswick Blue Devils.
Well, welcome back to our live coverage of high school boys basketball, and this is going to be the season opener for Green. Brunswick has a couple of games under its belt, and this is going to be a real test for Green. Brunswick coming off a successful season last year. They made it to the Division I regional finals, lost to eventual state champion Cleveland St. Ignatius, and they lost a couple of big pieces from that team, but they got some good ones back. A Division I prospect, a couple of other college prospects. We'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, and Brunswick's got kids that are, above the average of high school basketball play, but Green's got the Fortunato twins, so I don't know.
Well, they're tough guys on the football field, so I'm assuming they're tough guys on the basketball court as well.
Yes.
It was really fun watching them play the football games I saw them play, and I'll be anxious to see how they do on the basketball court.
Yeah, so in terms of Green's starting lineups tonight, we have number 1, Sam Dubrovitz, a junior who's coming into the fray after he played a lot of JV his sophomore year, but later in the season, he started playing some varsity and getting some varsity minutes for the Bulldogs, and now he finds himself in the starting lineup after becoming a 3-and-D guy last year. We have Aiden Lewis, a 6'1 junior guard. We haven't seen a lot of him this year. He's in the same boat as Sam Dubrovitz, or as I like to call him, Doobie. He's in the same boat. He didn't get a lot of playing time on varsity last year, but did get a lot of playing time on the JV squad. So it just depends what you're going to see from the kid. We have AJ Fortunato, 6'2", senior forward rather. Now, I actually watched a practice of the Green Bulldogs a couple of weeks ago, and if there's any telling that AJ Fortunato is a beast on the court, it's the fact that he trucked a kid instead of screening the kid just for the fun of it. Wow. So this kid, he's got everything. He's got the size, he's got the athletic ability. He just needs to be unleashed on the court. Next, we have David Zardicki, number 20. He's another kid that we didn't see a lot on the varsity squad last year. Notice, a lot of new faces for the Green Bulldogs this year on the basketball court, but still shouldn't be a deterrent because, anything can happen on any given Tuesday or any given Friday. And that goes for Green, and that goes for Brunswick. Rounding it out, we got Anthony Fortunato, senior, 6'2", guard. He's going to be the primary shooter for the Bulldogs today as well as Sam Dubrovitz. But, you never know. You never know, Mike.
You never know. And we've talked about, when we've been to Louisville, we've heard the phrase, the program being used. Well, that's what Mark Kinsley built here for a number of years. And they've had a lot of success under a number of years. They lose a couple of big name players like Brady Rollison, Jared Taylor, but the guys who are coming up have seen what it takes to be successful. And Mitch Spottelson, coming from a successful program at Lake, a successful program at Malone, that adjustment should be easy for those guys after losing a couple of those big guys.
Yeah, so transitioning over here to the Brunswick side of things, their starting guard, Sean Barnett, he's their quarterback for the football team, and he's got two brothers that are both playing D1 and D2 basketball, respectively, and to my knowledge, are both putting up some consistent numbers, Mike.
Well, they have his older brother, Marquise, started his career at Presbyterian, he's transferred to Kent State, has started a couple games for the Flashes, and his another brother, Quinn, who is now playing Walsh University, he's starting as a freshman, averaging in double figures. So basketball, like the Spottelson family, the basketball lineage is strong there.
Yeah. Moving on, we have Trey Drexler. He has started for the past 2 years for Brunswick, and he's only a junior. Starting his freshman year, he came in, and now he's got offers from Kent and Akron, respectively. He's only 6 foot, but he runs the court like it's no other. Then we have Aiden Shaker. Now, I am a little biased. I think his name's pretty cool. Aiden Shaker, he's got college interest from Division II, Division III schools. He's a 6'6 senior forward. Then we have Matt Morgan, returning starter. His brother Tommy is currently playing at Hillsdale. 6'4", forward senior. Then we have Ethan Shane rounded things out, 6'1" senior forward. He was the sixth man for the Blue Devils last year, but he comes in to a bigger role as a part of the starting five for Brunswick this year.
Well, let's give people an indication of really how good Trey Drexler is. He's already a junior. Well, he's only a junior, but he already has offers from Akron and Kent State, two of the top programs in the Mid-American Conference. And all he's done in Brunswick's first two games is average 29.5 points a game.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Green definitely had their hands full tonight, but we got the chance to talk to Coach Mitch Modelson before the game and kind of see what his thoughts were before the contest. So we're going to take you over there right now. Here's our pregame interview with Coach Modelson. It's your first year here. I mean, what has Green treated you like so far?
I can't complain at all. I think they've welcomed me as a member of the community. I'm excited to be teaching here as well, be in the building, just be a full part of the district. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, you're taking on a legacy from Mark Kinsley, who obviously was here for over 25 years. I mean, you pick up that legacy, but you're starting to create your own as well. So what's that kind of been like in practice?
Yeah, Mark's been great. I've gotten his full support, and he's helped me a million times. And again, I told the kids that early on in a meeting, I'm not Mark. I'm going to do things differently, and I think that the kids have accepted that, and I think that they've enjoyed that, and I think they've bought into it, and I'm very pleased with how the kids have handled it.
Yeah, Brunswick's got a lot of talented kids on this roster. So what have you guys been trying to game plan and practice around these kids?
We're expecting a lot of pressure. They trap the ball. They trap from a lot of different ways, so we've had to look at different press breakers and things like that. And then, just understanding when they trap, we're going to get advantages. We got to attack advantages when they come, but also understand when we need to pull back and run our half-court offense. All
right, and we also got the chance to talk with Brunswick head coach Joe Mackey before the game. Here's what he had to say. Roster. Yeah. You got kids on here with D1 offers, D2 offers, all across the board. So kind of how do you come into this situation and think, all right, here's how we're going to game plan, here's how we're going to take a look at things?
For us, it's just playing to a standard. We've got some pieces, right? We lost two Division II scholarship players last year, so we do have a point guard that's got a few offers. We got a center that's getting recruited a little bit, but Green is very similar to us. I just told our guys it's two programs tonight that they win consistently. I know Mark is gone and everything like that, but I've had a lot of respect for Green. They win almost in every sport and they win consistently, right? So we got our hands full tonight. It's a Federal League opponent, so we know they're going to try to keep it low scoring on us, and we're going to try to get in the 80s. And my guess is they're probably going to try to keep it in the 40s and 50s. So a little contrast in styles, but that's what makes high school basketball fun.
Yeah. So you were talking about Trey Drexler earlier. Yeah. What kind of makes him stand out of this team?
He just can do everything, right? He can handle the ball. It's hard to press him. He can shoot it from three. He can get inside. He's not the biggest kid you'll ever see, but he's really crafty down low. So he just means a lot to us. And he's got 2 years of experience, right? He's been our starting point guard for 2 years now, so that also helps.
Yeah, so you were also talking about how Green kind of wins and everything, but game planning for Green, what are you kind of looking for?
Just tempo, right? I'm sure they're gonna try to slow it up a little bit on us, and we're gonna try to get out in transition and try to get some easy baskets off of our defense and get out and transition. That's the way we play, whether we're playing Green or whether we're playing Strongsville, right? We're looking to get as many possessions as possible and utilize our ability.
Yeah, so what's your outlook?
Outlook is just like every game, right? We know we got our hands full, right? And just go out and play the way we're capable of playing. And at the end of the day, it's usually worked out well for us, and we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, good luck, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate
guys.
you.
Thank you. Nice.
Hello, everybody. We are back here from Green High School, bringing you Green versus Brunswick now. Mike, Green's got their hands full tonight, and we said that earlier, but if you really take a look at things, Coach Spott's building a new program. It's going to take some time to develop, but how do you think they vie against the Townsend Brunswick squad tonight?
Well, as Coach Joe Mackey said, their game plan is they're going to try to run. Green has to prevent them from doing that. Now, Mitch Bottleson, a player at Lake, has come from one of the most disciplined and successful high school basketball programs in the Federal League and in Stark County. I mean, they could play with teams, but they could keep it at their own pace. They won't mind winning games. They never minded winning games in the 40s or 50s. And that might be what it has to take to breed a talented team like Brunswick.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, we are saying Brunswick is a talented team, but we're not saying that Green isn't. They got plenty of kids. We got Sam Dubervitz, who just got announced here on the team. He's their guy. He's going to be their first option. I'm assuming, from what I've seen, Hayden Lewis is going to be the guy to kind of pick up the scraps and be able to shoot out on the perimeter. We're also going to see number 15, AJ Fortunato. He's going to take a little bit of the force in the paint as the big enforcer at that center. But Green isn't particularly playing center basketball. They're not playing position basketball here tonight, Mike. They don't really have all the pieces to fit into a textbook basketball roster. But they got hope, and they got fight.
Right. And they got a good man leading them. And we've seen that Mitch Bottleson has some of his Lake and Malone, some of his coaches. Former player Justin Miller, who played with him at Malone, is on his staff this year. And Brian Delap, who was on the staff at Malone prior to this year, but who was also an assistant coach at Lake.
Yeah, and we're seeing David Zarnicki on the tip-off for the Bulldogs against Aiden Shaker. Aiden's in.
Another one.
Aiden's in. Another Aiden's in. Aiden Shaker, David Zarnicki on the tip-off for the Bulldogs. They got Trey Drexler in the backcourt for him. Let's see who wins this tip-off, folks. Zarnicki loses the tip-off to Shaker, and Drexler's got it in his hands. He is guarded by Hayden Lewis. Lewis gets screened by, and they got a big man three from Ethan Jean. That's going to fall off. Rebounded by Sam Dubervitz. Anthony Fortunato's got it now on the left perimeter. He's looking to find AJ, his brother, in the corner. And now Hayden Lewis resets at the key. Lewis sends Dubervitz through the backcourt, the back door rather, and Dubervitz is going to find himself on the left perimeter with the ball now. Hayden Lewis up top on the key. Lewis transitioning around.
I got some patience from Green already to start this game.
Yes, and they've got Dubervitz inside, but they'll find Zarnicki inside rather. But Zarnicki's first shot goes awry, and it's still 0-0. 7 minutes left here in the first. Drexler goes up, but he falls hard.
Well, that foul's
and Drexler's down.
Yeah, that foul's going to be called on Hayden Lewis. And Drexler is down. And they're motioning for the trainers to come over. Boy, that's the last thing you want to see if you're Brunswick right now.
Yeah. And we're going to take a little injury timeout here before we get rolling. Drexler going to be walked to the trainer's room. Hopes and prayers out for the kid now. But that means Brunswick's down their starting guard.
Yeah, and a big clog in their starting lineup. And boy, that sounded even all the way up here like he might have hit his head on the floor after he got the foul. But they're going to take him back to the trainer's room and see how he's doing.
Coach Mackey on the court telling his kids, hey, let's get out there. Don't be too astounded. But that's a huge loss for Brunswick, Mike.
Yeah, when you're taking 30 points out of the game, I mean, that's tough.
Sean Grabowski at the line, taking over for Drexler instead on these free throws. Still scoreless, a minute in, 7:01 left in the first. Grabowski's first free throw, floated up, falls in. He's got his second now. Teammates, then Lamont, and he'll nail that second one. Brunswick on the board first. Green 0, Brunswick 2. 7:01 left to go here in the first. And Lewis has got it for the Bulldogs, guarded by Grabowski. Finds Dubrovitz on the left side, who flings it into Fortunato. Fortunato's got a lane. He'll not take it. But AJ Fortunato, big body inside. No and one, but he'll get those points that he wanted so desperately. And we got a tie ball game here with 6:40 to go in the first, Mike. 2-2.
Yeah, great passing by Green down there on that possession.
Aiden Shaker taking it through. He's guarded by Zarnicki. But we've got Grabowski up in the perimeter taking a three, and that won't fall. Spadelson motions for his guys to go down the court. Dubrovitz looks to paddle his way inside. Goes to Zarnicki. And now Lewis screened by with Fortunato, AJ rather, and Anthony Fortunato's got one. He'll try and pass that to his brother, but that's plucked away by Sean Grabowski. Gonna be
Anthony Fortunato gets the foul there. So Brunswick gets the ball back. Second foul on Green.
6 minutes left to go here in the first. Green, Brunswick tied at 2. Aiden Shaker looking to take the reins for Drexel. Takes a hard fall, but he's back up. And it looks like he'll be headed to the line for 2.
They're going to be fouling Sam Dubrovitz. Miss Spadelson was hoping to get a jump ball call there. Instead, they get Dubrovitz for the foul, his first.
Spadelson's first game, obviously, here as a Green Bulldog, but guy's got experience. This guy knows basketball better than I think anybody I've ever met.
Well, and his dad, Frank, was a longtime assistant coach at Lake while he played there, and even went on to have a successful run at Canton South.
Aiden Shaker misses both of his free throws, and that's going to be rebounded by Anthony Fortunato. Fortunato passes it to Dubrovitz on the left perimeter. Screened by AJ. Taking it at the key. Anthony's got it. Looking for a backdoor cut from Dubrovitz. Zarnicki finds himself inside. Anthony, tough layup. No go. And AJ Fortunato gets his second 2 of the night. Green 4, Brunswick 2. 5:28 left to go here in the first, Mike.
A brother always helps a brother out, don't they?
Oh, don't they, Mike? Grabowski gets it to Shaker. Shaker's at the perimeter. Sean Barnett's got it in his hands now, guarded by Dubrovitz. Puts it over him with a hand in his face. But they've got, Matt Morgan out on the perimeter looking at Ethan Jean. Ethan Jean, a big body inside the paint. But his pass goes a little awry. And Sean Barnett now pushed back by Dubrovitz. Spadelson telling his man, we got to spread our hands out here. Barnett puts up a 3. Bang! Gets it! Barnett puts Brunswick up. It's Green 4, Brunswick 5. 4:45 here to go in the first. Fortunato has got to get this down the court. He's pressed up by Matt Morgan. Hayden Lewis has got a 3. That was David Zarnicki. David Zarnicki, JV starter last year, comes into the varsity fold, immediately making an impact now. Sean Barnett, spot up! He's got it. That's his second on the night. And it's Green 7, Brunswick 8. 4 minutes, 18 seconds here to go in the first.
Well, he's got some older brothers. He probably learned a lot of basketball to shoot like that.
Sure enough. Hayden Lewis is going to take that outside to Anthony Fortunato. Hayden Lewis on a screen, goes inside, tough layup, off the top of the rim. Green 9, Brunswick 8. This is a pretty competitive game, Mike, I can't lie.
Oh yeah, and Green, 3 different guys into the scorebook already, so they're all getting involved.
Hard screen, goes inside, 12, that's Matt Morgan, he'll go in, Ethan Jean puts it back up, and like I was saying earlier, that's that big body, he's got the juice to get in there.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden Lewis takes the ball for Green. Looking on the right side, it's Fortunato. Dubrovitz telling his men to go in. Dubrovitz going to reset at the G at the middle of the court. Anthony Fortunato's screen. We were talking about AJ Fortunato's screens rather earlier. Zarnicki looks to go inside. AJ Fortunato puts up a 3. A little off the mark, hits the side of the rim, and that's going to give Brunswick another possession.
Yeah, we were talking about those screens. The way you described them, I wouldn't want to be on the wrong end of them.
That's Sean Barnett putting up a 2, but it won't fall in. And now a timeout taken. Green's first timeout of the game. Green 9, Brunswick 10, 2:52 here left in the first.
Well, so far so good. We've been to 3 games, 3 decisive blowouts, and not unexpected. So we were kind of hoping, hey, let's hope for a good game tonight, so we can, see how that goes. And so far so good.
Yeah, Spottelson emotional with his boys inside, telling his men, hey, we got to spread out here and get things moving. We got 2 minutes, 52 seconds left here in the first. And not to put words in his mouth, but he's telling them, hey, we got to pick up the pace a little bit if we want to match this Brunswick team.
Well, yeah, and they've done a good job of matching up with them so far. I don't know if you're going to see them run with them the whole game, but they're playing well with them so far.
Ben Bronick in for the Bulldogs now. He comes in for Sam Dubrovitz. Bronick also got significant JV playing time last year. Lewis fires a bounce pass over to Anthony Fortunato. He's trapped, triple teamed on the left side of the perimeter. But A.J. Fortunato gets it to Anthony, to his brother. Hayden Lewis has got it. And Green's just got to move the ball around it. Low, deep, falls out back. Anthony Fortunato tries to get a shot up after 3 men guarding him. I mean, Mike, this is a very aggressive defense that we're seeing from Brunswick.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have forced that one like he did right there. But, he was open a little bit, but turnover back to Brunswick.
Sam Dubrovitz checking back in for the Bulldogs here. Aiden Shaker's got it, gets it to Sean Barnett. He's got an open lane, but the ball falls out of his hands. It's Green ball.
Yeah, Barnett had an open lane there. He just lost the ball out of bounds.
Yes. Dubrovitz back in for Anthony Fortunato. On the inbound for the Bulldogs, it's A.J. Fortunato. He'll get that to Hayden Lewis. This is Lewis's first year on the varsity squad, so we'll see what impact he makes tonight. Sam Dubrovitz throws a rainbow pass over to the corner. A.J. Fortunato finds himself getting it back to Doobie. Dubrovitz tries to go inside, but Hayden Lewis has got Sam Dubrovitz in a lane. He'll take it. Quick one, but he'll get some foul shots.
Boy, nice aggressive move there by Dubrovitz, driving to the lane against 3 people, is able to draw the foul, and now he'll go to the free throw line trying to give Green the lead.
No, Mike, and Sam Dubrovitz is going to get his first foul shots of the night. Looking to put Green up. 1, if he nails both of these, his first rolls right in. No effort from Dubrovitz there. He's just got it.
All Federal League selection last season under Mark Kinsley in his final season.
Take that as a sophomore as well. He's tied up. And now Ben Bronick has intercepted the inbound pass. Sean Barnett looks to try to tip the pass from Hayden Lewis. And Lewis has got to move here. Lewis on the right perimeter gets it to Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz passes it, but it's stolen out. Number 23, Aiden Everett, steals that for him. And Sean Barnett puts one up. He's got it. Sean Barnett. He's got 8 on the night, 8 of Brunswick's 12. Mike, what's his performance been like tonight?
Well, they needed somebody to pick up Drexler, and he's going to be, maybe he has to be the guy to do it.
Yes. And now Bronick finds Artie in the corner, quick spot up. He's not on the mark, and that's going to be rebounded by Sean Barnett. Brunswick up 2, Green 10, Brunswick 12. 55 seconds to go left here in the first. Aiden Shaker tries to get past Bronick, and Bronick sends him right back. We're on the left perimeter, trying to do a couple of dribble moves. Euro step inside. He's got it. Aiden Shaker with the quick 2. Green 10, Brunswick 14. Excuse me, Mike. Maybe I should lead with the scoring, or with the leading scorer. Brunswick 14, Green 10. And Hayden Lewis is on that right side now for Green.
Hey, sometimes you're used to reading from left to right, so.
Sometimes you move from left to right. Dubrovitz is double teamed. He'll look to get around his guys. He's got a lane inside. Quick floater. Won't fall in. And he almost gets his own board. Hard foul on Sean Barnett isn't called. And he's telling him we got to reset. Matt Morgan gives that ball to Sean Barnett. And with 5 seconds left, Sean Barnett looking to take one more three-pointer with a second left. Here's his shot. His shot rolls in. Buzzer beater for Barnett. Green down 7 to Brunswick. Brunswick 17, Green 10 at the end of the first, Mike.
Well, we wondered how Brunswick would react after they lose their leading scorer. And Marquise Barnett says, hey, I'll just take over. He's been Brunswick's primary ball handler coming up the court with Drexler out of the game. And then he hits 3 threes, scores 11 of 17, Brunswick's 17 points. So that's what Brunswick needed after they lost their leading scorer.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if we're going to see him again tonight. It looked like he did take a hard fall to start the game there. But at the end of the day, they got Barnett. They got Sean Grabowski, who's come into the fold, hit his 2 foul shots that he would have hit earlier. But it looks like Brunswick filling in the holes pretty excellent over here.
Yeah, and Green's last 2 possessions in the first quarter, I thought they might have maybe worked for a final shot down there, but they weren't able to get it, and Barnett's able to get to the 3. So now they face their biggest deficit of the night going into the second quarter here.
Excuse me now, coming out for the Bulldogs, we have Ethan Wyrick coming in for AJ Fortunato. Wyrick on the inbound. He's got Dubrovitz and Bronick both on the side behind the half-court stripe. And now we're in the second quarter. It's Green 10, Brunswick 17. Now, excuse me, I didn't lead with the leading score again. But looking to go inside was Dubrovitz, and he's going to find Aiden Shaker inside instead. Aiden Shaker intercepting his pass. Wyrick looking to block it, but Anthony Fortunato comes up with the rebound. And after that ball's bobbled a little bit by both teams, Fortunato's got it in his hands. Looking at the G, Bronick screens past. Anthony Fortunato says, let's do it myself. He'll put one in. No and one call, but it did look like he took a little bit of a foul there, but he still got his points. It's a 5-point game now. Brunswick 17, Green 12. 7 minutes, 17 to go here in the second. And that ball's almost blocked by Zarnicki. Barnett looks to go inside, but he'll find Aiden Everett outside. Shaker puts one up, and Shaker puts one down. Another 3 for Brunswick. Might as well make it a sea of 3s for Brunswick tonight. Brunswick 20, Green 12. We got 6 minutes, 55 left to go here in the second.
Yeah, biggest lead of the night for Brunswick, and that's
Wyrick
their
spots
fourth.
up, excuse me, Mike, and Wyrick with a quick 3 for Green. Mike, what were you saying? What were you saying, Mike?
Well, I was going to say 4 threes on the night for Brunswick, but immediate answer by Green down there.
Yes, and now Sean Grabowski hands it off to Shaker on that right perimeter. He's guarded by 2 men, and Wyrick comes up with a steal. He's going to find Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz inside the lane, guarded by Barnett. Won't find it, and Aiden Everett comes up with the board for Brunswick. Everett dribbling it down the court. He looks to be guarded by, Anthony Fortunato, but he's going to hand that off to Aiden Shaker. Shaker finds outside to Luke Stella. Luke Stella letting the ball drop. Sean Barnett's got it now. And it looks like Brunswick just trying to burn some clock right now as they are on 5. Barnett, quick layup inside. He finds his lane and Euro steps his way inside. Now, I mean, that would be the second time we've seen a Euro step tonight from this Brunswick team, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if he's going to be getting some D1 offers, too, like his teammate is.
And inside, Sam Dubrovitz tries to go in, but he's going to get the foul that he wants. And it looks like Dubrovitz headed to the foul stripe.
That foul's going to go against number 23, Aiden Everett for Brunswick, their first of the quarter. Sam Dubrovitz looking to add on to his 1 point. And he missed the foul shot.
Dubrovitz first obviously goes awry here. Coming in for Ben Bronick and David Zarnicki. This is the first time Zarnicki's seen the bench tonight. Coming in is, AJ Fortunato and Wyatt Knowlton, both seniors. Wyatt Knowlton played in a church league previous to his time with the Bulldogs this year. And Wyatt Knowlton comes down with a big board, giving that out to Wyrick. Wyrick, spot up! Spot down! Another 3 for Wyrick. It's a 4-point game here for the Bulldogs. Brunswick 22, Green 18, 5:33 to go left in the second.
Big lift off the bench from Wyrick for Green.
And Sean Barnett puts up a 3 and he'll come down with it. That would be his 3rd 3 of the night.
Well, I think I was calling him Marquise Barnett.
Brunswick calls a full timeout here, Mike.
I think I was calling him Marquise Barnett the last couple of times he went down the court. Obviously, that's his older brother that plays at Kent. And but Sean Barnett tonight, what a night. 4 threes, 16 points.
That is a special kid right there. Now, Espadison down there talking to his squad. It looks like it's going to be Knowlton, Fortunato, Wyrick, and Hayden Lewis on the court for the Bulldogs here next.
Well, I don't know how much you've seen of Evan Wyrick, him being just a freshman, but this has got to be a great confidence boost for a freshman to come in and give his team the type of lift he has given to keep him within distance of Brunswick today.
Yes, and Sean Barnett puts Brunswick up 7 after that quick 3 that he spotted up for. Brunswick 25, Green 18, 5:26 left to go here in the second. On the inbound, it's going to be Wyrick. And Hayden Lewis is going to maestro this offense for Green. Green by Fortunato. I'm sure you can understand which one. Anthony Fortunato's now got it. AJ looking inside. He's got 4 on the night. Size up, pulling off the backboard for it. But they're washing it. It's a travel on Fortunato for it. Green find themselves in a bit of a pickle here, down 7 with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Drew Mattis gets it to Ethan Jean. Ethan Jean's got an open lane going up. Won't get it, but he falls hard. And it looks like he'll be headed to the foul strip.
Yeah, that foul's going to go against Green first of the quarter, and that's going to be on AJ Fortunato. That'll be his first of the game.
Ethan Jean. Here's his first. It'll pop up. He's sporting some pink shoes tonight. Real stylish. He'll grab it.
Oh, he had to double check with Coach Mackey for the right pronunciation of his last name, because everyone I've seen, Jean, spelled like the woman's name, was always Jean, the French name, but it's Jean, and you were right.
I was right. This second one falls out, rebounded by Anthony Fortunato. Fortunato's got 3 boards on the night so far. Now, I should preface that is Anthony Fortunato with the 3 boards tonight. Hayden Lewis conducting the offense here. Gets that out to Anthony Fortunato. Wyrick's got it. He's guarded closely. He's trying to find a lane inside, but Anthony Fortunato resets for Bulldogs. He's on the right side. That ball goes awry. Anthony's pass goes out of bounds. Green 18. Down 8 to Brunswick's 26 with 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the second.
Well, obviously a lot of time in this game, but if you're Green, you really want to keep this in single digits by halftime.
And Sean Barnett, guarded by Knowlton, he's got back up. Sean Barnett crosses one over, and he's got Aiden Shaker for 3. Aiden Shaker instead goes in for a quick basket inside. Foul. And we're resetting.
Great job by Anthony Fortunato fighting for that rebound like he did.
Wyrick on the inbound for the Bulldogs. Like we said, Wyrick's got 6 on the night so far. He's knocked down 2 threes. And remember, let's keep in mind, the kid's a freshman. He's got plenty of time left, and I'm sure Spottelson is very happy about that one. AJ Fortunato spots it up to Hayden Lewis. Hayden Lewis goes behind his back, crossover. And we've got Anthony Fortunato in the corner for no good on the 3. Wyatt Moulton tries to go up to the board, won't fall down with it, and that's Sean Barnett that comes down with it instead. Drew Mattis finds Matt Morgan, who finds Ethan Jean. Quick 3 for Ethan Jean. The center's got it for Brunswick. Green's down 11 now. Brunswick 29, Green 18. 3 minutes, 25 to go left here in the first half.
6 threes on the night for Brunswick, with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And it just works for him. It just works for him. Hayden Lewis at the G for the Bulldogs. Gets it to Knowlton, who is playing out of position, not in the paint, rather at the key. Guarded by Ethan Jean. Goes to AJ Fortunato. looks to drive inside, quick spin around, post-up jumper, puts it right over his man, and that brings Green within 10. Brunswick 29, Green 20. 2 minutes, 47 seconds to go here in the second. Aiden Shaker gets it to Ethan Jean. Ethan Jean gets it to Barnett. Barnett step back three, but Jean's got another three. And why not make it another for Brunswick, except it doesn't come down. Could have been the 7th three for Brunswick on the night, but doesn't fall. Hayden Lewis has now got it for the Bulldogs. He's guarded by Drew Mattis.
Well, even though Green's down by 9, we got plenty of time left, but you still want to make like every possession count. There's no hurry. And Mitch Bottleson's going to call a 30-second timeout right now.
Spot's going to call a second timeout after some miscommunications on the court that we just saw there, Mike. He's telling Evan Wyrick to go a little bit on the back door, trying to get him into the corner, but to no avail. He won't go. Spottelson now drawing up a new play for his Bulldogs.
Well, what we saw earlier in the game, you know, Brunswick loses their leading scorer. We don't know if he's going to be returning. I don't even see any sign of him if he's back. We thought he might have hit his head on the floor because it sounded pretty hard coming all the way up here on the track here. But Sean Barnett has been really picking up the slack for Brunswick tonight. 16 points, 4 3-pointers, and Brunswick leading 29-20 with just over 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And as the timeout comes to a close, it only looks like Brunswick running a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-man rotation tonight. I mean, can't imagine their gas.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to see from a lot of teams, you know, especially earlier in the season. We saw the couple of times we've seen Louisville, you had their 5 starters and 3 normal bench players.
Dubrovitz back on the court for the Bulldogs as he also finds David Zarnicki, who takes another long-needed break. Sean Barnett's guarded by himself by Zarnicki. Zarnicki puts one up, and that's going to be a tough roll for Barnett. Barnett being the enforcer on both offense and defense for Brunswick tonight.
Boy,
he's the sole reason that Brunswick is up 11 on Green right now.
And that's tough for Green coming out of a timeout like that. Not only having an empty possession, but a turnover that leads to a quick basket like that.
A.J. Fortunato hits his brother Anthony in the corner, and that's almost intercepted by Barnett. Doobie 3! Doesn't fall in, and that's almost boarded by Zarnicki. It's going to be out on A.J. Fortunato as Brunswick gets the ball.
Now they're going to get Fortunato with the foul. That's his second. Only the second for Green in the second quarter here. Not a tightly called game at all.
Matt Norman, the lead man for Brunswick. Now coming off the court is A.J. Fortunato. Coming on for A.J. Fortunato, Ben Bronick. Bronick, like we had said earlier, new kid for the varsity roster. He got a couple of varsity minutes last year, but you look at the stat sheet, all he got last year were a couple of turnovers. Sean Barnett wants to put up another 3, but he's guarded closely by Anthony Fortunato. A jab step finds himself in the paint, and that goes out to Aiden Everett, who airballs a 3. Dubrovitz has got it, who hands it to Lewis, and now on the left side, we're seeing Anthony Fortunato kind of create some space. Hayden Lewis has got it now resetting at the key for the Bulldogs.
Now with a minute to go in the game, let's see what Green does here. Will they play for 1?
Dubrovitz back to Lewis. Dubrovitz goes to Bronick on the right side. Gets it to Lewis. Anthony Fortunato not going to put up a 3. He was thinking about it, but Dubrovitz instead going to take that ball right back to Lewis at the G. We've got 40 seconds left here to go in the second as it's Brunswick 31, Green 20. And Lewis is pressed.
Boy, Aiden Shaker giving him a lot of pressure
Anthony
there.
Fortunato in the corner for a 3. It bobbles out. Dubrovitz with the rebound. Dubrovitz puts one up. And 1 for Doobie. Doobie with 2 sleeves on the hands.
Boy, a big basket by Dubrovitz. Get the offensive rebound, draw the foul. Has a chance to probably get his team to within 8.
And that's something that Green needed, Mike. They weren't really picking up a lot of momentum there. You saw Brunswick guarding them very closely, pressing up on that 3. And, I mean, that's something.
They needed some confidence going into the locker room at halftime, providing they stop Brunswick on this possession down here.
Now Casey Richlick coming in for the Bulldogs. Richlick, another rotation player for the Dogs. Looks like Spottelson getting use out of every single one of his players except for a select few. That foul shot by Dubrovitz goes off. That's another missed one for him tonight. Looks like Sean Grabowski going to try and dribble this out. Gets that to Aiden Schaefer. Wishy-washy for the refs. Anthony Fortunato, Hayden Lewis, and AJ is going to stay on the bench. But Anthony and Lewis coming on for the Dogs.
Now, looks like Mitch Spottleson's getting his starters in here for this last possession. 9.4 seconds left, trying to get something out of it.
Bronick on the inbound, gets that to Fortunato. We've got 4 seconds left. Anthony's going to try and buzzer beater here. Step back, put one up, but he's going to fall right before the buzzer hits, and that's washed away as he can't get the shot up. It's Brunswick 31, Green 22. Brunswick up 9 at the end of the second quarter. And we will see you after halftime.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, it's the Green High School Dance Team.
And now, coming into the studio, we have former Green High School head coach Mark Kinsley here, coming back to his hometown after retirement, coming to see Coach Spottelson take on the helm. I mean, what do you think?
Very impressed with the guys tonight. They were able to come out and competed. Brunswick's probably the toughest team, one of the toughest teams they'll play in their non-league schedule. You know, they have a number of guys back that have played multiple years, and you know, our kids are competing and playing hard, and liking what I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, and you said that they're the toughest, one of the toughest opponents they're going to play on the schedule, and Green's only down 9. That's very manageable, especially with 2 full 16 or with 60 minutes left in the second half. I mean, how do you think they kind of up the tempo?
Well, I think a lot of it, the first game is for kids to get the varsity experience. You know, you have 3 guys that played varsity basketball last year, and Anthony was really the only starter back. So, you know, after AJ, Anthony, and Sam, you know, these are all new first-year guys. And I think, you know, they played well for their first experience. And I think coming out of the halftime, these first 4 minutes going to be real big. I think they need to cut in to this league, and they got to find a way to slow Barnett down a little bit. He's a heck of a player and had a big first half, but you got to make somebody else beat you this second half. You can't let him go for another 18.
But I mean, all in all, you're liking what you're seeing?
Oh yeah, very much so. Just very
Congratulations
happy
on
for the
retirement.
guys.
Thanks
you.
for coming on, man.
You're welcome.
back to the letter live here from Green High School as Green trails Brunswick 22-31. A minute, 15 seconds left here to go in halftime. Mike, let's break it down.
Well, let's look at the scoring unofficially, as I should get into the photo. That would probably be a good thing. Green in the first half, Sam Dubrovitz, 3 points. Hayden Lewis, 2 points. AJ Fortunato, 5 points. David Sarznicki, 3 points. Anthony Fortunato with 2 points. And Ethan Wyrick, the freshman, coming off the bench in his first varsity game, hits a couple of threes and gets 6 points. For Brunswick, Sean Barnett, what a big first half for him. 18 points after they lose Drexler. I have to look at his name here. Trey Drexler, their leading scorer, to an injury early in the game. Barnett comes in with 18 points. Sean Drabowski has 2 points, and Aiden Shaker has 6 points, and Ethan Jean has 6 points.
Yep. And with that, we are going to bring you the second half of action here live from Green High School. Right about now, Mike. So let's go to the funny, fancy graphic, and let's get rolling, shall we?
Well, if you're Green, you're only down by 9 points, so you're within distance. Patience on offense. Make every possession count. And boy, if you could do something about Brunswick's Sean Barnett, you may have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, and it looks like Trey Drexler actually is dressed, and he's back for Brunswick. I'm not sure if he'll see the court again tonight, but he's holding his right cheek, his right jaw. Looks like he'll sit back down on the bench. It looks like he'll be done for the night.
Well, that's good to see, because at first that was kind of a scary fall he took to the floor there.
Ethan Jean on the inbound for Brunswick. Like we said, Green's only down 9. It's Brunswick 31, Green 22. Here to start the third quarter. Driving under the rim, it's Matt Morgan. He's going to lose it, but Sean Barnett picks up the scraps and gets a quick three.
Sean Barnett with 1,000,000 threes and 21 points already.
Green still down. It's Brunswick 34, Green 22. 7 minutes, 36 seconds left to go here in the third.
Actually,
We've got
that's
Anthony
5
Fortunato
threes.
on the right side of the perimeter. Taking a look at Hayden Lewis, who is also seeing his first minutes as the point guard for the Bulldogs in 2024. Anthony Fortunato gets that to Sam Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz going to maestro this offense now. Sean Barnett almost gets a quick steal against AJ Fortunato. AJ Fortunato gets it to Dubrovitz, who asks him to set a screen. And now, we're moving the ball forward. Anthony Fortunato looks to go under the rim. Finds AJ outside. Hayden Lewis drives in. Quick off. Inside. He can't come down with it. David Zarnicki rips it out of Matt Morgan's hands. And it's going to be a Green ball. 6:58 to go here in the third. Brunswick 34, Green 12. Off the back of another Sean Barnett 3. Brunswick leads Green by 12. And Anthony Fortunato has it for the Bulldogs. He'll try to cross over a man. Quick screen inside. Gets that outside to Lewis, and Lewis going to take it with his left instead. Switches to his right, and he's at the key now. Zarnicki's got it now. Gets it to Dubrovitz. Anthony Fortunato's got a spot up 3. Don't take it, though. AJ Fortunato gets his brother's board, and he loses it as Zarnicki tries to tap it back. Won't fall with it. Another 3 from Barnett. Deep. He's got another. It's Green. Down 15. Brunswick 37. Green 22.
Boy,
6 minutes. 15 to go here in the third.
Sorry, that really hurts. Good look at that 3 by Fortunato. Comes up empty. And then what does Barnett do? He hits another 3. 15-point lead for Brunswick. Biggest of the night.
Yep. And now, Fortunato to Fortunato, the brother connection. Anthony tries to get it to Anthony, and Sean Barnett's going to go up, and he's got a quick layup. Barnett, he's got 26 on the night.
He has scored 8 points in just over 2 minutes here in the third quarter. 26 points, 39-22 lead for Brunswick. He's some player.
Yeah, if you're Coach Mackey, you got to be happy.
Well, this is a really good program, like we talked about earlier. They made it to the regional final last year. They lost a close game to Cleveland St. Ignatius, who went on to win the state championship. This is a program that could make another deep run. I mean, they lost a couple of guys from that team, but with Drexler, with Barnett, some of these other guys, this is a really good program.
And as Green takes a full timeout here, they're going to try and reset. As Spottleson tells his man, hey, it's time to get back on the floor.
And I don't think Green has really played terribly that bad. They're just running into a very good team here.
Yes. And that's scary for Federal League opponents.
Who have to face Brunswick?
Who have to face Green.
That too. Now I see where you're going there.
All right. Now, Mike.
By the way, as a side note, should I use Maestro of the offense of the story soon when talking about a point guard?
You could.
Okay.
It would make sense. Brunswick not backing down on their defense as number 5, Sean Grabowski, going to push up on Hayden Lewis. Lewis finds A.J. Fortunato, who finds Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz on the left perimeter, going inside to Fortunato. He's got Anthony outside. Anthony chooses to not put it up. He'll find Zarnicki instead. Zarnicki out to Lewis. Lewis at the right perimeter, resetting for the Bulldogs. Ball's almost plucked out of his hands by Aiden Shaker.
Gonna get an offensive foul on Anthony or AJ Fortunato. That's gonna be his third.
Inbounded by Matt Morgan. He gets that ball to Sean Grabowski. Grabowski goes to Ethan Jean, who wants to post up, finds Barnett inside. Barnett's got an easy bucket in transition. Barnett, he's got 28 on the night. It's Green down 19. Brunswick 41, Green 22.
That's 10 points in this quarter alone for Barnett.
Zarnicki 3. Zarnicki doesn't fall down with it. And Dubrovitz tries to get the tip off. Ethan Jean's got it. Finds it inside. Almost blocked by Hayden Lewis. But now Jean, he's got 8 on the night. 2 threes and that one bucket there.
Well, Jean was Brunswick's 6th man last year. Moves into the starting lineup. He's having a solid night in his first start. 8 points for the Brunswicks.
Green still down. It's Brunswick 43, Green 22. 4 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the third. Sean Grabowski picks it up for Brunswick, the Blue Devils. And Sean Barnett gets in easy to Jean. Jean puts one in. And we've got another injury on the court.
Well, action stopped, and this is the last thing you want to see if you're Brunswick. It's Sean Barnett limping off the court. Now he's laying in behind the baseline.
Ethan Wyrick now subbing back in for the Bulldogs. And Sean Barnett limping back over to the bench.
He's struggling to put any weight on that right ankle there.
That's another big blow for Brunswick. Anthony Fortunato crosses over. He's inside. Guarded up. Puts one up. Falls off the back of the rim. And that's going to be a foul on Blue Devils number 24. Rather, that was on number 12, Matt Morgan.
Yeah, his second foul. Second on the Blue Devils in this quarter as Anthony Fortunato goes to the line.
Fortunato's first doesn't fall in.
Boy, we've seen teams struggle at the free throw line early this season.
Dubrovitz now coming off for the Bulldogs as number 5, Daniel Milosevic, comes in. Fortunato's second goes in. And now Green's only down 20. They got 12 minutes to play. This game's not over. Brunswick 43, Green 23. 3 minutes 58 to go. And now another 3 put up by Sean Grabowski, but won't fall in. Anthony Fortunato's got it for the Bulldogs. He'll just put one up. Why not fire away? Anthony Fortunato from 3 gets it. Brunswick 43, Green 26. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in the third. Grabowski, guarded by Fortunato, goes outside to Aiden Shaker, who's going to try and bounce his way in. He'll get the and one for Brunswick. And the turntables come back in Brunswick's favor. Brunswick gets another shot at the free throw line.
Yeah, just when you're trying to climb that mountain, Fortunato with the big three down there. Brunswick has a chance to erase it here at the line with Shaker going for the and one. Evan Wyrick back in the game for Green. So let's see maybe what he can do. You know, he had a couple threes in the first half, kept the Bulldogs within it. Let's see what he can do to maybe try to chip away at this big lead.
And if I'm Green, I just try to take as many threes as possible, especially with the shooters you've got out on the court. Looks like everybody can make it if they really put their mind to it. Zarnicki's got one on the night, Fortunato's got one on the night, and Wyrick's got another one on the night.
Yeah, you really got nothing to lose right now if you try
Anthony
that.
Fortunato's open to the corner, and they're not going to hit him. That ball's chucked over to AJ Fortunato, who's on the right perimeter. Goes to Milosevic. Milosevic resetting for the Bulldogs. He's guarded by number 23, Aiden Everett. Inside is Zarnicki. He big bodies a man out. Milosevic tries to find AJ Fortunato. AJ Fortunato puts one in, and he'll get one over. And one for Green.
Great recognition there by Fortunato to drive the lane and draw the foul. Another opportunity for a three-point possession here for the Bulldogs.
And that's going to be Brunswick 46, Green 28. They've chipped away at that lead. Now I'm going to stay silent because I want AJ to make the shot. It fell out. Maybe the silence didn't work. Maybe I need to talk next time. But that ball is going to fly out in transition. That's Aiden Everett on the launch outside.
All right, still 2:46 to go here in the third quarter. It's an 18-point Brunswick lead. Let's see if the Bulldogs can chip away. Maybe try to get this within 10 by the time the fourth quarter starts.
Milosevic finds Anthony Fortunato using his football hands to get that right back in bounds after a surefire pass to go out of bounds falls into his hands. Milosevic is at the key. Anthony wants it for himself. He'll pull it up anyways, but no foul is called. Ethan Jean has it for Brunswick. Shaker goes in. He tries to get a dunk on his man. Luke Stella finds the rebound. And Brunswick now going to reset. Ethan Jean thinks about it too. Guarded by Milosevic. Fouled out. And now it looks like Sean Barnett coming back into the game for Brunswick. That ankle injury wasn't as bad as we initially thought, Mike.
Well, he looked like he was in pain when he first suffered it, but that's a good sign for Brunswick. Coming back in, 28 points with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Ethan Jean knocks around and comes out. Now coming in for Zarnicki is Wyatt Knowlton. Casey Richland coming in for Anthony Fortunato. Green, another big rotation change as they're trying to rest their guys up before we go into a fourth quarter where I'm not sure we'll see anybody come off the bench, Mike.
No, I don't think so either. If you're Green, you got to go with the guys who, your starters, your veterans, try to get back in this.
Ethan Jean's second rolls out around. As Milosevic has it for the Bulldogs. He looks across up number 23, Aiden Everett. That ball falls into Ben Bronick's hands as it goes to Richlick on the right perimeter. He's got Milosevic at the key. Instead, Richlick looking to drive by himself. We've got Wyrick for another three. Bronick's got it. Milosevic decides not to wash that. Wyrick pushed back. And now it's another reset button for Green.
Well, it didn't take Brunswick long to recognize Wyrick after those 2 threes in the first half.
The travel is called on PC Richard.
Boy, that's a couple of empty possessions there in a row now for Green. Not the thing you want when you're trying to erase this big lead.
Before the game, Brunswick's coach was talking about, hey, we're going to try and keep this in the 80s, but Green's going to want to try and keep this in the 40s. And so far, it looks like that's been taken to a T from Brunswick, especially utilizing this triangle D that we've seen them use all night. Sean Barnett drives through. He's got guarded by 3 men, but it won't fall in. Milosevic has it for Green. He wants to try and go inside, but that's turned over as Barnett is guarded by Wyrick. He's got two men. Put one in, put one out. He's got foul shots.
Yeah, they're going to get Evan Wyrick with that foul. Send Barnett back to the line. 3 possessions down by 18. Green cannot convert.
Brunswick 46, Green 28. 59.3 seconds to go here in the third. And Barnett's got another foul shot.
A second foul on Wyrick, 4th on the Bulldogs this quarter.
Barnett can't knock down his first foul shot.
I promise I won't be free throw guy like I was on Saturday, but this is just amazing. All these misses.
Tell him, Mike. Go for it. Barnett's second can't fall in, and that's another missed free throw in this battle of the Blue Devils and the Bulldogs.
I think there were going to be some teams that are going to be at the foul line at their next practice for a little bit. That's just me.
Looking for Wyrick off a screen is Richlake, who fires back to Milosevic. And that ball goes out of bounds.
4th straight possession with nothing for Green. Wow. Just, I think 3 of them were turnovers.
And it's Aiden Shaker who takes it for Brunswick. Goes behind his back, looks to drive inside. Quick float-up jumper, falls in. Aiden Shaker looking to be a great second option for Brunswick tonight. Shaker, he's got 10 tonight. And with 15 seconds to go here in the third, he's got Wyatt Knowlton all the way down the court. He'll grab it, and he's going to want to go in. And they're going to take a flop charge because I'll tell you what, Wyatt Knowlton can size up a guy, but not like that, Mike.
Yeah, I think he threw his arm, though.
I saw it. We got 9.6 seconds here to go in the third. Brunswick up 20. Big on Green. Brunswick 48. Green 28. Barnett has it for Brunswick. Not another buzzer beater to fall in. Contrary to his first one in the first quarter. At the end of the third, it's Brunswick 48. Green 28.
That might have been the first 3 of the night that he missed. I can't remember. He scores 10 points in that quarter, 28 on the night. Tough ending of that quarter for Green. You know, you're trying to climb this mountain that you're facing against a very good team. I think their 5 trips down to the court, they're not able to get anything when the score was an 18-point deficit. So Brunswick in control going here in the 4th quarter.
And it looks like Green tonight just trying to play a type of basketball where we're trying to tire out these other kids. I mean, Green's got firepower upon firepower, and they've got plenty of guys to play on the court to give their other guys and their main starters breaks. Brunswick, on the other hand, they got a deep rotation as well. But if you tire them out, then what else are they going to have left, Mike?
Well, and like I said before, I don't think Green has really played all that bad. You know, the last couple of minutes of the third quarter, okay, you know, that might have been a rough stretch right there. But they're going up against a very good basketball team, even shorthanded with Drexler on the bench.
Green down 20 to Brunswick at the start of the fourth. It's Brunswick 48, Green 28. Clock starts ticking, and Green going to have to crawl back from a 20-point deficit against Brunswick. Starters are in for the Bulldogs. It's going to be out of bounds on the Aiden Shaker, as Dubrovic's going to be on the inbound for the Bulldogs.
All right, if you're Green, I mean, you got to balance that patience and urgency line on these possessions down the court here. 20-point deficit, but not a whole lot of time to make it up.
Another turnover by the Bulldogs. But it looks like Sean Barnett's going to take another one, and it's going to fall in. Barnett has 31 on the night. Without Barnett, where would Brunswick be?
Well, this will be a lot closer game than what it is right now. My goodness. The quarterback on the football team, too.
Maybe he's just Brunswick's star athlete.
Well, he's pretty good, and he's has some brothers who are pretty good, too, and he's thinking, boy, I'm going to try to get myself in a good position at the next level. Let's talk about where we're going to be on Friday. Memorial Fieldhouse. McKinley versus Lake.
That's going to be a good one.
How many games have you seen at the Fieldhouse?
I have seen 0 total ever. I've never been in the Fieldhouse before.
You're in for a treat, man.
I've never been in the Fieldhouse before, Mike. I've been told it's pretty nice.
Best high school place I've ever been in.
I mean, how does it compare to Green?
Well, it's larger.
Yeah, let me put you on the spot there. Don't watch your words about Green, Mike.
I love Green. You know I love Green. From a historic standpoint, though, the Fieldhouse is tops. A lot of people claim it's one of the best arenas that they've ever been in for high school sports.
Excuse me, sorry, Mike. Lewis, we're getting right back into action here. That timeout took a little shorter than I expected. Lewis looking to dribble in. We've got 7 minutes left. Green's got to crawl back a 23-point deficit. AJ Fortunato's got a 3. He's put one up. He's put one down. Another 3 for AJ Fortunato. Fortunato, he's got 11 points on the night. Big bodies.
Boy, that lends a long scoring drought for Green, but they're still down by 20.
Ethan Jean with the ball for Brunswick. Tries to find Barnett inside. That ball's plucked out, and Shaker puts another one back in. And AJ Fortunato, looking like a football player out there, intercepts another pass. He is a pretty good sub-linebacker, Mike. Inside is Sam Dubrovitz. He looks to go outside to AJ. AJ driving in. He's by himself. He'll put one in up off the glass. And it's Green. Now cutting that lead down to 18. Brunswick 51, Green 33. 6 minutes, 19 seconds to go here in the fourth. And Green slowly creeping back. Barnett inside to Jean. Jean puts one up and over.
Boy, we've seen Barnett score a lot of points tonight, but it's a good pass there to get to Jean for the easy layup.
Now Zarnicki with the ball for the Bulldogs, using his pivot foot to get that ball out to Lewis with 5 minutes, 50 seconds left here for the Bulldogs. They need some threes, Mike.
Yeah, and they need them in a hurry.
Dubrovitz puts up a quick 2. Almost looks like it was going through his legs though, Mike, but he gets another 2. Gets that lead right back down to 18.
Tough night for Dubrovitz so far. That's his 5th point.
Ethan Jean's got another one up and over. And another hurt player for Brunswick. He'll limp off the bench to the bench.
Yeah, that's Matt Morgan leaving the game. Older brother Tommy played on the regional team last year. He's now playing at Hillsdale in the Great Midwest Athletic Conference. So we talked about Friday. We're going to go check out the Fieldhouse.
McKinley Lake.
First look at McKinley Bulldogs last year. Reed Sims Jr., heck of a player for McKinley. If you ever have time, go look up the video of when McKinley played Massillon last year, and Reed Sims, on a breakaway, bounces the ball to himself and slams it home.
And puts it away, too, while he's at it.
You could tell that probably made half the gym really happy, and the other half of the gym probably pissed off. But he's a heck of a talent. Another son of a great former player that I remember from back in the day, Reed Sims, who played at Glen Oak High School.
Yeah, and updating you guys on some other high school basketball scores. Currently, Jackson down 15 to Hoban. Hoban 37, Jackson 22 at the half.
Well, that's kind of a surprise to me. A late rescheduled game. Jackson was supposed to go play. I don't know if it was a tournament or a single game up in the Niagara Falls region, but the last lake effect snowstorm obviously shut down Interstate 90 for a long time. They were able to reschedule Hoban, and Hoban, always good.
Fortunato is guarded by Jean. He's going to get that to Zarnicki, who puts it over to Dubrovitz. Dubrovitz with his right, puts the body up the man. That's not going to fall in. Almost rebounded by Barnett. It falls into the hands of Drew Mattis instead. Madness now for Brunswick. He's dribbling that up, guarded by Lewis, who shoots it off to Sean Grabowski. Aiden Shaker to Sean Barnett. Put another one up, Barnett. Air ball, which is honestly surprising.
What were the odds of you ever seeing that tonight from that guy?
I've only seen him miss one other three tonight, and it was on a buzzer beater. Still a 20-point deficit for the Bulldogs here to crawl out of it. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Brunswick 55, Green 35.
Oh.
They've got Fortunato outside on the right perimeter. Falls out the back of the rim. We've got to run down as Barnett puts one up. No tipping, but he'll get fouled.
Fouls on Green's number 11, Aiden Lewis. His second.
Hayden Lewis with a foul for Green. That's his first. First on the Bulldogs in this quarter. And back to the free throw line, Sean Barnett trying to tack on to a 31-point night.
Barnett's first, falls in. Ethan Jean coming out for Brunswick now for Aiden Everett.
And Barnett's night is kind of overshadowed some of the other great play by his teammates. Ethan Jean tonight, pretty solid for the Blue Devils.
Barnett's second falls in, and that's going to give Brunswick a 22-point lead here on Green. 4 minutes, 26 seconds to go. Bounce pass from Lewis to Zarnicki. Zarnicki goes to Fortunato, and Fortunato loses it off the track.
Well, Green's going to go on the road Friday to Massillon. That's going to be Massillon's first game, coming off their another long, well, not as long as usual football season. Chris Knight, very good point guard for Massillon. Jalen Slaughter, the quarterback on the team. So Green early in this season with Brunswick tonight, Massillon on Friday. They're going to be facing some good teams.
Shaker drives in. Who puts one up in? Sorry, Mike, for interrupting you there, but Shaker, he's got another one on the night.
I have to let the play-by-play guy get the action back when the ball's inbounded.
Lewis tries to go by a screen by Fortunato. Fortunato to Zarnicki. Dubrovitz has got it. He'll try to go inside to Fortunato. Fortunato's guarded by two guys. And that's way off the mark for Fortunato. Ball is stolen. Almost. Barnett's got it by himself. Floats one back to Shaker. Shaker guarded by A.J. Fortunato. Barnett has got an open lane. He'll take it. He's headed back to the foul line.
A.J. Fortunato with the foul. That's his fourth. Third on Green. And that might be it for the night for Sean Barnett. Leaves the game. And they took the points off the scoreboard already, so I believe it was 33 for Barnett.
Ethan Jean inbounds that to Luke Stella. Excuse me, Drew Mattis has got it. Ethan Jean, why not put up another three, but that's way off the mark. Ball almost stolen again. Anthony Fortunato's got it. Zarnicki in the corner, put one up. Air ball.
That's going to be on David Zarnicki. Second foul for Green. Fourth in the quarter for the Bulldogs as a team.
Dribbling down the court for Brunswick. Grabowski goes to Drew Mattis. Instead, finds Aiden Everett, who puts up a quick mid-range floater, and that's going to fall right in. Brunswick reaches the 16-point threshold. Brunswick 61, Green 35. 2 minutes, 50 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Anthony Fortunato finds Aiden Lewis off a screen from Dubrovitz. He'll put one up and in, and that's going to go Brunswick way.
And they're going to say Hayden Lewis lost the ball out of bounds back to Brunswick. And Mitch Spottelson looks like he's going to be emptying some of his bench here. Daniel Milosevic in the game. Casey Reichlich. Ethan Wyrick still in, along with Anthony Fortunato.
We've got Sean Grabowski putting up a quick three. Neat check for the kid. And almost a 30-point lead for Brunswick at the end of the fourth, going into the final 2 minutes of the fourth.
In this spot, also going to get some of his other players back in, Wyatt Knowlton and like Mason Helmick at the scorer's table.
Anthony Fortunato rather, puts one up and in and gets a foul shot. And one for the kid.
Well, a long night for Mitch Bottleson in his first game here at Green, but I've known the guy for a while, and I'm pretty sure there's not going to be many long nights like this as the season goes on.
Anthony's first and only foul shot falls right in. And now, coming in for him is Mason Helmick. All starters now out for the Bulldogs. Drew Mattis has the ball, passes off to number 20, Jordan Vincent. Looking for his moment is number 10, Jacob Millsap. Falls outside, and that's going to be a Brunswick ball.
Mitch Bottleson still coaching this game like it was a 2-point game. He's at the scorer's table, elbow on the table, knee on the floor.
He wanted this.
No, he's going to get his share of wins.
Drew Mattis puts up another three, going to bounce off the side of the rim. Green ball.
Now, we talked about what a start Green's going to have to the season, playing Brunswick tonight. They're going to play Massillon on Friday, and next Tuesday, the Hoover Vikings, who we saw last week, are going to be here. It'll be their Federal League opener.
Milosevic has it for Green. Richlick's now got it. He'll find Milton in the lane, put one up, and one for Wyrick. Milton head to the foul stripe. I tell you, I saw Milton knocking some of these free throws down in practice. The lefties first. Falls in. He's second. Clapping up. Loads back. Puts one up. Won't fall in. Richlick almost comes up with the rebound. Instead, that's going to fall into the hands of number 10, Jacob Millsap. Finds Mattis, who drives inside. Goes to Dirk Ziegler, guarded by Richlick. Fast basketball from Jacob Millsap now. Grant Almasy. Goes to Mattis. Ball stolen by Knowlton. And now Milosevic puts one up, floater over, floater in, and it's got it.
Green's still playing hard. Look at the way they played on defense down there. Able to get the turnover and the basket at the other end. They're not just cruising out for the game, a game that they're going to lose big in.
And now Brunswick 64, Green 41. 44 seconds to go here left in the fourth. Guarded by Helmick. Mattis goes in and finds it. That'll Mattis' first two of the night. Now Milosevic tries to go inside to Knowlton. That ball's plucked out of his hands. Drew Ziegler dribbles down the court. And they're going to try and hold this ball for as long as possible.
Yeah, Brunswick is playing tough down the stretch, but like you said, they're going to run this clock out. Convincing win for them to go to 3-0.
And that's going to do it for Brunswick and Green tonight. Brunswick commanding victory over the Bulldogs. Brunswick 66, Green 41. Stay tuned though, because the game's not over yet. We still have some post-game content for all listeners at home tonight. If you just stay tuned. This is Mike and Aiden signing out momentarily from the Letter Live. He's good. All right.
Good.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Letter Live here at Green High School's gymnasium. We have Coach Mackey of the Brunswick Blue Devils here with a post-game interview. I mean, let's talk about this game. You had 3 starters go down, but at the end of the day, you're still coming out here and putting up, a 20-point victory margin. So how does that feel for your guys in the locker room?
It feels good, but obviously our best player went out maybe a minute into the game. And then we had Sean had a tremendous game, but then he goes down, then Matt goes down. So we'll celebrate a little bit, but we got a really good opponent in Glen Oak coming up on Saturday. We got to figure out who's going to be healthy enough to play, and we'll be ready to play. It's basketball, right? Injuries happen, sickness happens, so we'll deal with it. Happens to be our best guy, but injuries do happen, and life goes on, and we'll come out and compete on Saturday.
Yeah, and Barnett comes in, drops 30. We had seen a lot of scoring from him earlier in the season as well, but to come in here against a team like Green and be able to do that performance, I mean, what does that mean for your guys?
Well, I think especially because he played football all fall, right? He was our starting quarterback, and wasn't around with us in the gym, and was on the football field. And last year, the transition from football to basketball was not as smooth. This year, he spent a little bit more time in the gym during football, and it's really showed, and we need him. He's one of our best guys, obviously. He's a scorer. He's a confident kid, and with Trey going down, for him to step up the way he did really elevated this game tonight and helped our team.
Yeah, you got Ethan Jean being an enforcer on 3-and-D here. I mean, what does a guy like that, have to kind of commit to your game plan?
He's a senior. He's been around. He's been playing since a sophomore, right? He's got good size, shoots the ball pretty well, really sees the floor. He's a high IQ guy, so he stepped up as well tonight. We needed it with so many guys being down.
Yeah, I mean, what's next for Brunswick, man?
Well, I mean, we'll like I said, we'll figure out tomorrow where we're at, and we got 3 days to figure out who's going to be healthy enough to go against Glen Oak, and obviously if we don't have Trey, we'll have to do some things differently, play a little bit differently. But our goals don't change here. We'll play together. We'll play as a team. We'll defend at a high level, and we'll try to come up on the right end of the scoreboard on Saturday.
All right, congratulations, Coach.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Letter Live here from Green High School's gymnasium. This is Aiden Brueck and Mike Popovich signing out for another edition of the Letter Live. Green Brunswick, a 20-point victory margin for the Blue Devils tonight, Mike.
Yeah, just too tough of a team for Green to face tonight. Experienced team, successful program, despite losing their best player to an injury earlier in the game. It's next man up, and Sean Barnett was that tonight for Brunswick with 33 points.
33 points, Mike. 33 points. And I was talking to somebody earlier who's on the staff here at Green, and I said, hey, this Barnett's guy, he's averaging 29. And he goes, in how many games? And I was like, doesn't matter. He put up 29, and tonight he puts up 33. So great performance from both teams tonight. But, Mike, I mean, I think that's it for us. And we'll see you on Friday for McKinley versus Lake. Sound good?
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.